It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage at day 9 of the Calgary International Film Festival. My name is Bryce and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey.
Hello, Jim. And it also includes Murray. Is Murray here?
Murray, come out and play. He's working.
He's working. Oh, well, his loss.
Working for the man.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Today may be a pretty rage-filled day. I'm just letting everybody know ahead of time. I'm cranky, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But we need to remind some people of some amazing things because today is October 2nd. And October 2nd means that the All the Horror podcast event is already running, and it is day 2 of that, and day 9 of... Today's day 9? No, today's day 8. You said it already once. I'm already too tired.
Day 9.
Perfect. So, All the Horror 18 on Twitter and Instagram, and scaresthatcare.org. Please check these two out because this is an amazing charity and some amazing podcasters, and I've already started listening to some of them, and they are pretty fabulous. So check out also allthehorror18.wixsite.com to check out how you can support Scares That Care and listen to some great podcasters. So, let's talk about what we saw with CIFF, CIFFcalgary.ca, for all your film needs for Calgary, Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan.
That's fantastic, Jim.
It is.
CIFFcalgary.ca. All right. Yes, we saw some films.
Girl!
Yes, we saw Girl. It is about a young lady who goes back to her hometown to kill her father. She gets there and finds that her father has already been murdered.
What?
Then we get a fight in a laundromat, a shady sheriff, a twist or two, some reveals, and some unsatisfying ending that had me shrugging my shoulders. This would have been a meh had it hadn't been for a ridiculous scene in which a bullet was stopped by an axe.
What? That was the best part.
That was terrible. This movie was absurd, and I would be remiss without mentioning Mickey Rourke's performance. If you could see me right now...
He's deadpan.
I'm just shaking my head.
He's doing that too.
Enough said about that. This movie was unsatisfying, unoriginal, rage.
Aw, dude, really?
Sorry, that's the way we're starting the day.
So, 11 minus 7
It's 4.
is 4. And you know what I'm going to say?
What are you going to... No, I don't. What are you going to say?
This should have started at an 11.
Right.
Because, what kind of movie is it?
It's a...
Ladies who kick ass and punch dicks.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so it started in 11.
Yeah.
What brought it down?
Well, let me tell you.
All right.
Foreplay laundromat style was great.
Was it?
Yes, it was. I absolutely loved that scene.
All right.
So much
Okay.
that it did affect my rating. Loved the axe-wielding psycho girl, but not so much. Thought this was going to be a better direction that this film was going to go for sure. I think they had so much potential to make this like at its 11 where it should have been. I actually was not a fan of the lead actress, Bella Thorne, in this role. I didn't feel much from her. She may be a great actress, but I did not feel anything from it in this film. I didn't feel like I hated her or that she'd been done wrong. Or
I wasn't rooting for her.
I wasn't rooting for her, and that's the key to a really good ladies who kick ass and punch dicks film. Is you gotta want her to kick some dicks, and she didn't do as much dick kicking as I wanted her to. Loved Uncle Shitface and Pizza Face, as appropriately named by our crew. Great, bad, creepy bad guys, dudes. I loved how her amazing axe-wielding skills can cut a bullet in half. Bam! She's so accurate. They even proved it. She threw an axe in the laundromat, and it went right in the center. She's amazing with an axe.
It's just so dumb.
Well, actually, she was amazing with a hatchet. Not an axe.
Right.
So I was a little put off, but I figured maybe if she's that good with a hatchet, maybe axe throwing is also in her repertoire.
Yeah.
So, the accuracy that she was able to stop a bullet and cut it in half splitting the bullet and then splitting our villain was actually pretty cool.
Talented lady.
She was awesome. So I really wanted to love this dick punching film.
Yes.
Now, you can't see my face, but it's very sad.
It's not happy.
And that's not just because I'm tired. It's going to get a very, very, very low meh, but only for the laundry scene alone. That's it. That 7 minutes in heaven, as I like to call, remembering my childhood, corner spin the bottle days.
Yeah, no one wants to hear
I
about
wanted
that.
to. Definitely loved her kicking that guy's ass in the laundromat. But we have to talk about that ending. I'm sorry. Like there's a lot of stuff to unwind about that ending. There was nothing unpredictable about it. The mother shows up and you're kind of like, yeah, we already knew that you were the bad guy.
I
in
thought
this
that
movie.
the mother just going, oh well, and just taking off was unpredictable. It's like she went through this whole plan.
She's like,
and then in the end, it's like, okay.
But you gotta admit,
I don't want to go too far into it.
What? Just because we're kind of ruining it?
But it's like, really?
But I mean, I kind of like the fact she's obviously still an angry young lady because she switched her anger and murderous rage for her father and easily flipped that to her mother, which, in hindsight would have been even better. That could have been a better ending.
Yeah.
It's probably enough said about that movie.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. From the fire into the frying pan.
God. I just want to say yesterday was pretty painful for me, I gotta say.
All right, so next we saw Monkey Beach. It's a supernatural mystery in the Pacific Northwest. Lots and lots of ghosts in this one. It is a story of Lisa, who has a vision of her little brother Jimmy drowning and then must embrace her psychic ability in order to save him. Along her mystic journey, she talks to some dead people, she has some flashbacks, and she gets a nice haircut. I felt at times the dialogue was a little choppy, which made it difficult for the actors to have a natural flow in their conversations. It is undeniable that this was a beautiful film to look at with some breathtaking shots of the surrounding nature. For me to recommend a ghost story, it has to be amazing, and it is literally my least, I can't get my words out this morning.
Literally
It is
the worst favorite genre.
Yes, as it is literally my least favorite genre of film. So having said that, this was not amazing. This was a low meh.
Monkey Beach. Yep. Or Sixth Sense. You decide. This was supposed to be a mystery, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure what the mystery was. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, it was a mystery about...
she was solving?
She was solving... Well, yeah. Okay. Why was it a mystery?
Exactly. So maybe I was expecting a mystery. And it wasn't. I want to say whales are cool. We got to see some whales.
Got to see some whales, yeah.
I almost think maybe one of the whales wasn't a whale, but you tried to convince me yesterday that it was.
It was a whale.
This is more like an extended episode of a sitcom, or what I would think of as a ghostly soap opera. That's how I felt about this movie.
All right, go ahead.
Favorite line, what's the promise? That the next one will be bigger?
I don't even know what that's referring to.
It's when he had his promise ring. He was going to give it to his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
/ potential fiance.
Right.
And Tina Lamon was amazing as Mama Oo.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
You know what? This was a mystery because we didn't know who was in the woods and why stuff was happening. Yeah, no, this was totally a mystery.
No, those were just ghosts, and they talked earlier about the fact that she saw ghosts. So
at one point, I thought there was like a Sasquatch or something in the woods there.
There was. It was like a little gimlet or something. I don't know, running around. She even got a nightstand version of it.
Bigger one, not the nightstand thing.
Well, there was a few. There was the nightstand one. There was the ones in the woods. She was battling with a crow.
Yeah, it was all pretty mysterious.
It was not. I can't give this a meh. I'm sorry. I'm glad I kind of saw it because I thought Mama O was cool. I wasn't impressed with Adam Beach either. I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
And he was just underplayed or...
I don't know. There's something about the dialogue in general that nobody could shine because it was just it was so choppy and it just nothing flowed. That was my big problem with it. I think if we could have taken care of that, it would be. And it's based on a book that's apparently good.
The book is supposed to be amazing.
Yeah,
like we did a bit of reading on some of the reviews and stuff, and I kind of want to read the book now because maybe we'll get to know more about the little creatures that she also sees in addition to ghosts. I wanted to know what her superpower was. I almost thought this was going to be a superhero movie where she talked to ghosts and solved mysteries like Scooby-Doo.
And she's got a big drum that she bangs and then ghosts go away.
Yeah, that's her superpower. Well, that's one of her multiple superpowers.
Oh.
She had the drum beating off the monster thing.
Yeah.
She had the seeing ghosts. And then she had this power for people to love her because everybody around was glad that she was there.
Yeah.
She had 3 superpowers. She could easily...
Are you sure this is still...
No, it's a superhero movie. It's not a mystery.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking. I want to see what happens in the next volume of this fantastic soap opera.
All right, let's talk some shorts.
Let's talk shorts.
Let's do the late shift.
Yes, so much late shift.
Yeah. So, we'll start with Morbus. Was that what it started with?
Or more bus.
Or more bus. Let's have more bus. Morbus. It's ended up being kind of a morality tale with an amputation. It was meh.
It was Sam Raimi. You're welcome. Meh.
There you go. Central Dental. There is a price for everything. Meh.
This is actually one of my favorite shorts. I've seen this like 5 times. I love this short. Not a cheap dentist because it will cost you an arm and a leg. Mondo.
There you go. Then we had Freya. I wish I had a smart toilet.
Yeah, me too. Analyzing our poop? Come on.
It's still a meh.
This was too much Jexy adjacent meh.
There you go. Tumas beneath the valley of the wild wolves. Apparently wolves are not very virtuous. Meh.
This gets an Alexandra Horn A fixing Mondo.
Wow.
I loved it. I want to actually live his life.
I just hate the fact that it painted wolves with such a broad stroke.
I kind of like the idea that you could go from being an engineer to being a porn star in very short notice.
Porn star and gigolo, yeah.
But because it was mostly because of his sweet, sweet butt. Like nobody really loved him for the front of him. They just everybody wanted his butt.
It's weird that the front of him, when he came out of the shower, we got to see all of the front of him. But then the rest of the movie, it's just like, does he tuck it?
Disappeared.
Or what is?
Well, he's a wolf, so it hides, right? It's like
just goes up.
Like Red Rocket.
I guess, but why is it so pronounced when he's in the shower?
Maybe he was using it for a while in there. You know what I'm saying? But we
know
talked
what
a little
you're
bit more
saying.
than just a 1-sentence review.
From there we go to The Fall. It was visually stunning, but ultimately unsatisfying. Meh.
Okay, it was a micro short meh for me because I think it was missing things like everything. But the shots were cool.
Yeah, the shots were cool. Just a Guy. It's a women who love convicts. Meh. I don't know.
Yeah, messed up animated doc meh for me. You know what? I kind of did like this one. I kind of wished, but I like Richard Ramirez is just so creepy, and I'd read stories about this with him, getting love letters and stuff. It's like kind of interesting that they actually was able to track somebody down and make a animated short about it.
Yes. Sticker. Dark, funny example of the lengths a father will go for his daughter. It is a Mondo.
Yeah, this is another short I've seen a few times, actually. I don't even remember where we saw them.
Yeah, I saw this one too before.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
It's but I'm glad that we got to see it again.
Yeah.
He's a lucky guy. Mondo.
And the last queen on earth is what we end with.
Oh, baby.
I'll live the way you want. No need to wait for the apocalypse, Mondo.
Oh, God. RuPaul Farm Trip, End of the World, Mondo. This was everything that an apocalypse should be. It had drag. It had how to farm in 6-inch heels. It had don't fuck with a drag queen. It had just so much joy. Like
it had all of that and more.
And more. Like, I could not stop laughing and loving this film.
It was a lot of fun.
This may be my short of the festival so far.
Nice. All right, that wraps up the late shift.
It was wrapping up the late shift.
And now
But we didn't end there.
No, we did not.
We went later.
Jim was actually hitting the wall, and he's like, you know what? We did a lot of podcast. We did 3.5 hours?
Felt like 10 hours of podcasting yesterday.
So we were on other people's shows and it was crazy. But yeah, Jim's like, you know what? Maybe we should just pack it in for the night. I'm like, you know what, Jim? Let's not pack it in yet.
Just yet.
Let's watch the Best Documentary Feature Award winner at the Calgary International Film Festival.
Yes.
So I said, let's do it. And Jim's like, all right.
And I actually stayed awake through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Unlike somebody I know who's had a chance of kind of seeing a portion of it before and didn't get to the end.
That was the first time. The second time, I was wide awake through the whole thing. Anyways, I don't know who you're talking about. So we saw Coded Bias. As mentioned, it was the winner this year of the best featured-length documentary at CIFF. This starts as a documentary about racial bias and facial recognition technology, and then morphs into a horror movie about the Orwellian reality these technologies are steering us towards. This film perfectly balances the technical and human side of this subject. This is a frightening look at our future if we are unable to stop this technology from being used. The interview with the young lady in China was chilling as she told us that this was all a good thing. She has accepted that an algorithm will determine the path of her life. And she thinks it's acceptable and a good thing.
Well, wait, I want to add on to your point there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to make this point, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
But she says, this makes my life so much easier. I now can find my husband because they got to have, the same rating of me or better.
Yeah, it's so sad. I'm glad there are people in the world like Joy Balamwini and director Shalina Kanteya getting the message out and creating change both legislatively and socially. This movie was a wake-up before we end up in an Orwellian reality mondo.
Yeah. Smart women are awesome.
They are.
I can't talk.
There's lots of them.
There's so many smart women in this movie. I'm blown away. Also, smart is sexy. It doesn't have to be, I don't know about you guys listening, but smart women turn me on. I don't care what anybody says. But these women are brilliant. Like, the one actually was talking about the fact that when she was 6, she's like, you know what? I want to go to MIT.
Yep.
And then she just made it happen.
I was just picking my boogers at 6.
Yeah, at 6, I couldn't even figure out how to tie my shoes, probably. On a good day. Thank God they made Velcro back then. Yeah, these amazing women in this doc are incredibly smart, and I loved every moment of it. Microsoft Tay, the face recognition in London, the apartment that scans your face and locks you in or maybe out, Amazon and its facial recognition program that they rolled out. These things all make me afraid to go to sleep at night, and as a result, makes me rage. As I watched it yesterday, today I am in a state of sleepless anxiety because of the lack of sleep, worrying about what Alexa, what Siri, and what Google Home are going to be doing to me in my sleep. Or taking my information and doing what with it. Now I don't trust you anymore, Siri. I'm looking at you on this. But yeah, this was. I'm glad you classified it as a horror movie.
Oh, it turned into a horror movie.
It was a terrible, 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 terrible horror movie that everybody should see, and we should help these women fight. And for them to take up this fight, I'm like, good on them. The fact that anyone, and I mean I shouldn't say anyone, any corporation that is building a software to only work properly on white males is a huge problem. It should never be allowed to exist. And in London, guess what? It's 98% wrong. And yet they've already implemented it. Like, what the hell? This guy gets a freaking ticket on the street because he tried to cover his face.
Yeah.
As he's walking by, I was like, well, you could be a terrorist. That's why you're covering your face. I'm like, no, I'm covering my face because I don't trust you, the government, because 98% of it is not accurate.
Yeah, don't forget about the 14-year-old boy they pulled over because he looked like a suspect.
Yeah. And he wasn't even wearing a hoodie. Like, he was dressed in pretty dapper attire.
I believe he was in his school uniform.
His school uniform, yeah. I was like, hey, that 14-year-old boy looks terribly, terribly guilty. We better pull him over too. Like, this is what makes me most crazy about this is that this is the way our world is going and no one else is questioning it, right?
Well, there are people questioning it.
Well, I mean, you look across. Well, I don't think very many people in China are questioning
They're
it.
not questioning it in China.
In Hong Kong, they are. And guess what's
scary.
happening to them? They're getting the giant Doc Martens in their face right now.
Yeah.
I could literally talk about this movie for hours, but it's. I think people need to see this movie. This gets, fuck you, the man, Mondo. Nice. Favorite line was weapons of math destruction.
Yes.
Which is very true. Well, that's kind of it for today. We got lots to do today. So, see you tomorrow when we do some more CIFF talking. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. Thanks to Merman, who is working hard for the money. He's working hard for it, honey. Make sure to check us out on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And check out our website. Leave us comments. We got a great comment from a director the other day, and he is awesome. At filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment often, and please make us rage. That's it for this week. I mean, that's it for today, because tomorrow we're back.
We're back tomorrow.
Rage
Yay!
on.
Rage on.